Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to go over how you analyze textual data in Qualtrics numerically. There are certain situations when, instead of analyzing different categories someone falls into, or different categories a certain response falls into, you want to analyze things like maxes, mins, modes, averages, things like that. But unfortunately, there are certain situations where the data, instead of being coded as numbers, is coded as text and can only be analyzed categorically into different sections people are sectioned into based on their selections. But there is a neat workaround you can use to turn this textual categorical data into analytical numeric data that you can analyze and find things like averages, maxes, and mins for that data. And that's what we're going to go over today. And as you go through these steps, this will help you turn that textual data into numeric data so that you'll be good to go. With all that being said, let's hop into the survey to take a look. All right. As an example of such data, we'll take a look at question 3. So you can see very clearly that there are 5 categories someone can be split into: awful, bad, okay, good, and great. And this question has been recoded so that awful is 1, bad is 2, 3 is okay, 4 is good, and 5 is great. Looks good to me. Now, if we head into the results tab, you'll see what I mentioned earlier about trying to analyze this data numerically, having a tough time doing so because the data has been sectioned off as categorical. So I have this current page 1 in my results tab. I'm going to just add a really simple widget of a vertical bar chart that shows me the averages for this specific color rating. So easy. I can pull up the count okay, looks good. Greats 2, 4, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, all looks fine. So it gets the count okay, but then if I try to switch it to average, it won't pull in the average for this value because these guys are categorical. So there isn't really an average for the different categories. And even if I look for the field to select, like a question name or something like that, it doesn't show up here. Now the way I'm going to work around that is a neat little workaround where you can convert this categorical value into a numerical value on the back end with a different field and then pull that into here. So first thing I'm going to do, just so we have more data to work with, is generate some test responses. Generate like 50 of them. It'll take a little bit of time, but it helps sort of spread the data out. All right, awesome. So those responses have been generated. We're good there. Now let's head into the results tab again. Make sure all those guys are generated. Okay, let's change this back to count. I should see good. Awesome. There's a nice spread of data. This all looks good. Perfect. And then now we're going to dive into the workaround we can use to, instead of these guys being coded into the categories of awful, bad, okay, good, great, even though recode values are checked on, we're going to actually code them to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, now to do this, what you're going to want to do is head into your data analysis tab. And if you haven't watched this video up here on combining variables, we're going to touch on a concept that was covered in there where we use the field editor to combine variables before, but in this case, we're going to use the field editor to just convert textual values into numeric values. So as I said before, using the field editor over here, and click on that guy, create a new field, formula, and then we're just going to call this Q3 numeric. And the formula is going to be really straightforward. It's just going to be X, and we're going to select X equals Q3. And then what it's going to do here is it's going to choose the recode values for Q3 and just pull them into this new field, so that now instead of this new field being categorical, now it's just simply numeric values pulled in from Q3. And I just create that field, review and publish, and then I'll be good to go there. Perfect. It'll take a little bit for it to index, but then once this guy refreshes, then we'll see what that new field looks like. I'm gonna refresh this account. And I'm gonna refresh the page. Alright, it might take a few more seconds, but let's see if it's pulled through. And for all fields created in the field editor, it'll always pull through as embedded data, and it won't just pop in right here in the columns, nor will it be added as a question. So I'm going to go to embedded data, Q3 numeric, and you'll see here, Q3, too bad, gets coded to 2, 2, 1, 2, 5, 4, 4, and so on. It just matches the recode values of this exactly. Now, instead of using Q3, the categorical values, to try to analyze any numeric data from that, we're going to instead use this Q3 numeric value that we recoded instead. And we're going to pull this field in the results tab and analyze that. So let's head back to the results tab and then we can take a look. Alright, so we have all our data, and then it's just the counts right now. But if we want to switch to average, just like before, we saw that warning that the metric doesn't exist. And while before we didn't see Q3, now we'll see Q3 numeric for us to analyze that. And then you'll see here, so it does calculate the averages for these guys, which makes sense. The average for 5 is 5, 4 is 4, 3 is 3, 2 is 2, and 1 is 1, and so on. But if we just want the total average, okay, let me add some more decimals to this. 2.88, let's display that. Perfect. And if we want the total average, we can see it like this. Or if you want the average based on a specific criteria, like the answer to which color, and let's say we selected red, you can see that value here. So this would be how you'd go about coding your categorical values into numeric values so you can analyze the data numerically in your results tab in Qualtrics. To recap, what you're going to want to do is first in your survey, make sure that the recode values for this guy are checked on. The way in which you're going to want to do this is head to the far left side, scroll down, click on recode values, check it on, assign the recodes accordingly, and make sure they're configured correctly over here. And then, once you've done that, then you want to head over to the data analysis, field editor in the top right corner, create a new field that's just the numeric values with a formula. It would just be X. Then you're going to pull in the values you want to switch to be numeric instead of categorical. Review and publish that. And then once you head over to the results tab, you'll be able to pull in that new field as a numeric value instead of a categorical value and analyze that. Hope that clarifies things. That was a little bit complicated and it had a few steps. So if you do have any additional questions or concerns or anything else you want to go over, please feel free to reach out. Always happy to clarify anything further or go over anything in more detail. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you for watching this video and look forward to seeing you again soon in the next video. Take care.